When looking for our next youth model sport ATV to test, we turned to YouTube. There we found GoPro videos of Nicholas Paquette racing his Polaris Outlaw 90 in the GNCC series. Nicholas made the Outlaw look fun and capable, dodging trees, trail obstacles, and the competition. Based on what we'd seen, we felt the Polaris Outlaw 90 was definitely worth a closer look. For our test, we outfitted Ethan Wingate in Fly Racing's F16 gear, Maverick boots, and Kinetic Pro Trey Canard helmet. Ethan did some ATV testing with us in the past, but hasn't ridden quads much in the past year. The Outlaw 90 seemed like the perfect candidate to get him reacquainted with riding. Our test took place on a private mini motocross track in Woods Loop located in northern Kentucky. Ergonomically, Polaris went a bit larger than some of its competitors. The cockpit won't overwhelm most 13-year-olds, but leaves a bit more room for the rider to grow into. The bars are perhaps a bit too tall while sitting, but nothing too objectionable. The seat is long and flat, offering a good amount of padding. Full floorboards with tall wide foot pegs offer plenty of room for your feet to pivot. Metal pegs would be nice though. The stock Kickstarter position protrudes between your ankle and the left side of the engine's lower end. While Ethan didn't complain, we suspect some riders will find its location annoying. At around 5 feet tall, Ethan felt right at home on the Outlaw, commenting, "This thing feels perfect for me." After requesting some warm-up time before we started filming, Ethan hit the track and was immediately hard on the gas, obviously feeling confident aboard the 90. Intended for riders 13 and up, the current Outlaw 90's chassis is very similar to the original two-stroke Scrambler 90 introduced back in 2001. Its most significant update happened in 2007, when its two-stroke engine was traded for today's 89cc 2-valve single overhead cam air-cooled 4-stroke. The Outlaw is easy to fire up thanks to its push-button electric starting with Kickstarter backup. A left-side handlebar-mounted lever controls the carburetor's choke mechanism for cold starts. A fully automatic transmission keeps the Outlaw in the meat of its power, simplifying learning. The right-side mounted gear selector makes choosing between forward, neutral, and reverse easy, although it looks a bit outdated. Indicator lights for neutral and reverse are located on the handlebar cover. The engine's good low RPM power and smooth low RPM CVT engagement allow the Outlaw to get rolling smoothly and easily, with minimal throttle. With the thumb throttle limiter restricted down to around 7 miles per hour, the Outlaw can take off and cruise around on flat ground easily, making it perfect for first-time riders. Unrestricted, the 90's engine produces a good amount of power over a wide RPM range. It starts pulling right off idle and revs up well for its class. Ethan, who most recently rode a two-stroke 90, was surprised how well the four-stroke performed. There's enough performance to let an experienced rider rip through the trees or around a tame track at a fun clip. The engine and CVT transmission make the 90 a decent climber, so it transitions well from the backyard to the trails. Dimensionally, the Outlaw 90 is a bit larger than most of its competitors. At 36.75 inches in width, with a wheelbase of 41.5 inches, its 27-inch seat height is comparatively low when considering its length and width. Its extra size adds up to a dry weight that's slightly heavier than the other 90cc 4-stroke CVT competitors. At 274 pounds, it's around 10 pounds heavier than the Yamaha Raptor 90. The chassis features a tubular steel frame with the expected solid axle-equipped rear swing arm. The front end's design is a bit dated, utilizing single A-arms. Single A-arms suffer more from bump steer and tire scrub as the suspension goes through their travel. Suspension travel numbers are impressive though, with 5 inches up front and 6 out back. Preload adjustable shocks are used at both ends. The Outlaw's dimensions add up to a stable handling ATV. Body roll isn't a problem on the 90, yielding a planted feeling on off-camber trails and aggressive corners. High-speed straight-line stability is also good. Steering precision is decent with a typical sized rider, but taller riders will notice more front-end push. With its impressive suspension travel numbers, we wish the shocks offered a bit more performance. The front end was notably plusher over small bumps, roots, and rocks. It even did a better job of dealing with jump landings. The rear shock is way over dampened for small bumps or whoops, and bottoms out on jump landings. With the available travel, the Outlaw is the perfect candidate for low-cost aftermarket shocks. Dual mechanical drum brakes up front and a single drum brake in the rear slow the Outlaw. The brakes are independently operated via handlebar-mounted levers. Acceleration and braking forces are transferred to the ground via 18958 rear and 1978 front Duro tires, mounted on stamped steel wheels. Braking performance was adequate, but not exactly impressive. Power and feel were a bit soft on both ends. They're strong enough to slow your pace on downhills or to slow the machine from speed. However, locking up the rear tires if desired is nearly impossible. The rear Duro tires kept the machine hooked up under acceleration and braking, while letting you occasionally break the rear end loose for slides. The rear tire's square profile aided stability, while the front tire's rounded shape helped provide a smoother ride. A tether kill switch and throttle limiter add safety and allow you to match the performance of the machine to the rider. Working head and tail lights are also welcome safety features. Nicolas Paquette made the Outlaw 90 look capable on the trail with his lightly modified machine. Ethan felt it provided lots of fun and could obviously conquer most beginner-level trails in stock trim. The Outlaw is a good starter machine that leaves a little room to grow into. It would stand out more from its competition with better shocks and an updated braking system, but its strong engine, stable handling, spacious ergonomics, and competitive $2,699 price tag make it a machine we'd recommend looking into. For more information on the Polaris Outlaw 90 and their full line of ATVs and side-by-sides, log on to polaris.com.